It definitely felt like a new skill that I had to develop, one that I
Yeah.
hadn't quite had to use before. But yeah, it was I learned quite early on, especially through Tom, who has a very strict rule about not bringing his work home with him.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's smart. I need to start doing that.
Hey, I'm really happy you're here.
Why is that?
Because I like you. But there never seems to be enough time to do. You're it for me.
I feel the same way.
I joined the army.
Why would you do that?
Sometimes I feel like I've already seen everything that's gonna happen.
Your hair is amazing.
Oh my God, thank you. So
It's
it's yours.
incredible. Thank you.
Really? Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. Hi, Ciara.
Hi. Nice to speak with you.
Yeah, it's so nice to see you. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. How are you?
I'm very good, and congratulations on Cherry.
Thank you.
Absolutely loved it. It was incredible. You guys were amazing, and people are so excited to see this movie now. It's basically what everyone's talking about online, honestly.
I'm so
So,
excited for everyone to see it.
oh yeah, how do you feel? What's on your mind? Only a few days away from the big day.
I know I'm quite nervous. I'm looking forward to hearing everybody's thoughts and opinions on it. Like so far it's just been close friends and family and I'm just excited to see what the rest of the world feels. It's always a little bit nerve-wracking when a project's so close to your heart and then all of a sudden everyone else gets to be a part of it too, but
Yeah.
that's also, it's such a thrill.
People are gonna love it, that's for sure.
Hope so.
What made you say yes to this script when you read it first?
I mean, first and foremost, seeing the names attached to it, I was just really excited to get the opportunity to work with such a talented group of people, especially on a project that's so special to them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then, of course, reading the script, I was completely blown away. I have never seen a script balance tones so well before. And, it handles all of these really dark, heavy topics, but still gives you permission to laugh, which I thought was just, it really, really impressed me. And I knew about 10 pages in that I wanted to be a part of this movie in any way, shape, or form that they would let me. And I'm just consistently so honored and confused that they let me bring the role of Emily to life.
Yeah, it really is so well put together, all the different chapters, everything, it's just very, very well made.
The brothers had such a strong vision for what they wanted this project to be. That was clear from the beginning.
Yeah.
Sitting down and speaking with them, it was like, you know, I feel like I didn't quite have the imagination to picture what it was going to be, especially while we were filming, because all of the
Yeah.
shots were so fluid and artistic. It was almost like, Jeff Haley, our ACAM operator, was just, I mean, like a dancer almost with this 80-pound camera on himself, swooping around, and it's such a
Yeah.
wonderful eye. But yeah, it was clear from the beginning what they knew what they wanted this movie to be, and I think that really shows in the final edit.
Yeah, it really does. Can you talk to me about Emily a little bit? Who is she? Because
Mhm.
I feel like you really are the only one that really knows her that well at this point.
Right. She is very close to my heart, that's for sure. I always like to preface this by saying that Emily is a fully realized person. She is a
Hmm.
three-dimensional human being.
Yeah,
But in this film, we are seeing her through the eyes of Cherry, because of course it's Cherry's story.
of course.
Um, we're seeing this whole world through his eyes.
Yeah.
But she's his love interest in the film. We first meet her in college, and
Yeah.
it's sort of like these two lost souls that recognize something within each other,
Hmm.
finally finding a connection that they haven't found before in life. And it becomes really special, but also quite scary because she does fear vulnerability. It's new and frightening when you have such strong feelings for another person.
Hmm.
But we really get to see her journey through discovering and learning about love and herself, and then unfortunately, falling into addiction and watching her battle with that.
Hmm. So, how do you prepare to become such a complex and hurt character as Emily?
I will say that the writing set me up for success. Yeah, Angela and Jessica did an incredible job with
Hmm.
that. There was no shortage of information on who Emily was and is as a character and a person.
Hmm.
Um, but I always like to approach these roles almost like a puzzle, scouring dialogue and the direction for hidden pieces that it can put together to make this full image of a person, which I think is always fun. But then, of course, you want to make sure that you're protecting yourself mentally, so because it can be quite tricky when you're going to such dark places,
Yeah.
to come out of that. But there was a wonderful support system on set, and
Yeah.
I mean, it was just the most incredible group of people and such a wonderful atmosphere that made me feel safe going to those places.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, how do you go back to being Ciara Bravo at the end of the day?
Right. Great question. It definitely felt like a new skill that I had to develop, one that I hadn't quite had to use before. But yeah, I learned quite early on, especially through Tom, who has a very strict rule about not bringing his work home with him.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's smart. I need to start doing that. But they also, the brothers would put together these family dinners where we would all go out to eat afterwards and
Okay.
just sort of
Yeah.
decompress and step out of our characters and back into ourselves, which allowed us that space to sort of breathe, catch our breath, and, clear our minds for the next week ahead.
Yeah, a very much needed little dinner at the end of the day.
Exactly. Right.
But was
God
that-
knows we were all hungry.
Yeah. But was that comforting, reassuring to you as an actress to know that you weren't the only one going in this dark place, that Tom was here with you and that you weren't lonely, in this dark place?
Yeah, Tom was the perfect partner in all of this. Not only is he an extraordinary actor, which is more than clear in this movie, but he's also just a really wonderful person. And I had so much trust in him, and I hope him, me, that he would be there for me when things got rough and rocky. I mean, we were the only people on set who, aside from all of the other actors, whom I also love very dearly and speak to all the time, but who knew how far we had to go. We were in it together. We understood where the other person was, where we needed to be.
Yeah.
We were constantly supporting each other, but also pushing each other. Watching someone like Tom work, I was like, okay, I need to be better. And it felt nice to have that sort of like healthy competition to bring these characters to the places that they needed to be.
That's great, bringing the best out of each other.
Exactly.
That's a perfect relationship. What was
Yes.
the most challenging scene or just aspect of your character to film for you?
As difficult as the dope life portion of the film was to shoot, I felt the most pressure working on the beginning of the film because I felt like I needed to make Emily likable. And I feel like there's so much more that goes into that. You need to care about her in the beginning so that you care about her story at the end.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's easier. I'm so different from Emily at the end of the movie. I've never been through that experience before, but I am a young woman, like 23 years old. She was in her early 20s. Like, it's easier to see more of myself in the early Emily. And so I think that left me feeling very vulnerable and also quite scared. I wanted to make sure that people liked her.
Yeah. You know what I thought was interesting is that we kind of get a glance at her past, which is very important in the building of the character. Emily is not only a character through Cherry's eyes.
Yeah, it's always nice to recognize and understand that a character existed before the narrator met them. Yeah, she was a person before Cherry and during Cherry and after Cherry. And I like that it's not shoved in your face either. It's layered in there very nicely.
Yeah. It's very subtle, but it's there.
Exactly.
So what did you expect before coming on set for the first time?
I never know. I like to come into every set with an open mind because it can be so different depending on who's running the ship. But I felt very lucky in that the brothers are very kind, very trusting creators. They're collaborators through and through. And they like to hear different ideas and opinions, and they're open to, working through a scene and reworking a scene while shooting it, which not everyone is. So that felt really exhilarating to feel like your voice is being heard. I think it would really surprise people to see how much we laughed while shooting this movie, but I think it's because you have to. You know,
That's a good balance, right?
right, you need that balance, otherwise the dark places that you have to go to will just completely swallow you whole. That laughter kept us afloat, allowed us to come up for a breath of air so that we could dive back under and go deeper than we did the time before. From the rest of the cast members, Kyle, Michael, Forrest, I mean, everyone, to the crew members, it was a very, very close, very family-like atmosphere. And I know I had a great time shooting. I hope everyone else did too.
Since the Russo brothers, there are two of them. Is that
Mhm.
complicated to manage? And you just like kind of jumping in between their advices.
That does happen sometimes where because they're
Yes.
brothers as well, it's like they're incredible and they have a really great way of working. They've
Yeah.
got their dynamic worked out
Mhm.
really well. Obviously, that's how you make
Yeah.
so many wonderful movies together. Yeah, there are moments where it's you can see the sibling in them where one will come over and they'll give you a piece of direction and then you'll do it and then the other will come over and be like, don't do that. And it's like it always makes me laugh. And then watching them like go off to a corner and like work something out together with such fervor. And then you're throwing Tom in on top of it, who's basically a third brother. And so it's like watching them all interact together always
Right.
put a smile on my face. You know, Tom would like do something to mess with them or like, you know,
Oh,
throw
it's good.
something their way and just watch them spin out and then him laugh.
Mm.
Oh, it was it was a lot of fun. It was
Siblings.
cool. That's exactly what it was. It was just working with three brothers.
But what is your favorite memory?
Oh, geez. You know, I think my favorite memory would have to be um, the weekends that we all shared together. You know, as much fun as I had on set and as proud as I am of the work that we all managed to do and the places that we brought ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
we're a really fun group of people and I really enjoy hanging out with them. And I look forward to the day that we're able to do that again safely.
That would have been great to have a red carpet premiere.
I know. I'm bumming. I'm really bumming because that is something that I was looking forward to get everyone back together again
Yeah.
and we could have another night of great food and drinks and laughs and dancing.
Hopefully you can do it when the crazy is over.
Exactly. My fingers are crossed that we all get vaccinated and healthy soon so that we can see each other
Exactly.
again.
Fingers crossed. Ciara, thank you
Exactly.
so much for joining me today. By the way, I love your shirt. I couldn't stop looking at your shirt.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I love it. I
Thank
wanted
you.
to say something, and then I was like, yeah.
I appreciate it. It was really lovely talking to you. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you for joining me and congratulations again. You were phenomenal.
Thank you.
Bye.
Stay safe. Nice talking to you.